Welcome to season 4, y'all, of Jaren Gel Podcast.
We are back for season 4, y'all.
Yes, we are.
And I'm excited.
We are excited. As we step into this new, amazing year of 2024, it's time for a rejuvenating, transformative journey. As we explore exciting topics, thoughtful conversations, with a little sprinkle of laughter.
We're not relationship experts, and this isn't professional life advice.
We're just two ordinary souls willing to share our extraordinary journey in the hope of inspiring and encouraging you. So join us as we navigate this journey of self-improvement and empowerment, providing you with the tools to make 2024 your best year yet. Individually. And 2023-2024 was a fast transition, and it has already been over 3 months since our last podcast. So let's get started.
Cheers.
Did you even read my idea? You didn't respond to it.
Which one?
The one I told you, or we can also do this. You didn't read it, did you?
Mm-mm.
Read your text message.
You send me like 13 texts, like one after the other. How am I supposed to keep up with that?
No.
Yes.
I thought you were a multitasker.
I am.
You should read my idea.
Do you want me to read it now?
Yeah.
I sent you Impact of Relationships, and you sent me I Am Legend 2.
After that.
And then you said, I am excited for this.
After.
And then you said, And then you said, so we're not talking about cheating? And then you sent, and then I responded, no. And then you said, we can also do Q&A with Jaren Gel. And then you sent,
That's the one.
You asked me questions and I asked you. And then you sent, but we don't know what the questions will be. And then you sent, LOL. And then you sent, Te amo, mi amor.
Okay, babe, but the
And
point...
then I responded, babe, I have a headache.
But my point is you didn't read my idea. It's
Your
Q&A.
idea was Q&A?
Q&A with Jaren Gel. I have a
Okay.
list of my own questions, and you have a list of your questions that you ask me and I ask you, and you don't know what the questions are, and I don't know what the questions are.
Then that's something that we have to come up with.
Yeah, I already had like 10
right now.
I already had like 10 million questions ready to go.
You always have 10 million questions ready to go.
I know. Just a thought. I mean, it'd be like fun. It'd be like a game.
Yeah. Well, we learn different things. Of course, when we talk about stuff like that, we always learn something new.
I picture me asking different types of questions than you would ask. You know what I mean?
Like what?
I don't know. Just different. I can't tell you now because then it won't be authentic when we do it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, what would you do if, or would you still love me if?
Yes, I would.
You don't know what the other part of the question is.
I don't need to. I don't know. I don't care what it is. I'll still love you.
Wow.
That's how deep
What?
my love is for you, boo.
What if I cheated on you?
I would still love you.
But would you stay?
I would work to try. I would work through it. I would try to work through it. Now, depending how your reaction is and how your response is to what happened, and if you're working through it and being patient as well, then yeah, I probably would.
But you didn't do that in your second marriage.
That wasn't accomplished in my second marriage. I offered to stay. But
But what?
I can't make the other person change or get on the same page, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's a hard thing to deal with, too. That's like, ugh.
Did I just change our topic?
I never want to go through that again. So you better not ever do that.
I would never.
Because we would be miserable for a long time.
Been there,
and
done
we have
that.
not been miserable
Been
at
there,
all.
done that. Not
with me.
I know. I would never
And
want
not
to.
me with you. So it would be a whole different thing.
No, I think we're in a different place in life. We're older. We're wiser. We've gone through a lot. I don't think that that's something that's even on the table.
Yeah.
Especially not how we love each other.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you can do to prevent that from happening. Because it's not really a mistake. It's you choosing to do it.
It's a decision. It's allowing other people in your circle or in your bubble. And once you start allowing someone else to infiltrate that, that's where problems start happening. It's not just like, oh, I went out and I met someone and I slept with them. Sorry. You know, it's this is something that happens
before.
It's someone looking at you. It's someone making compliments to you. It's someone saying, "Hey, I like the way you look today. God, your hair.
Then your hair looks good.
Then
you better keep on loving me even when I push you away and don't want attention."
I think I do that.
I know you do. That's why I said it.
Excuse me.
Anyway.
Yeah, today I was listening to a podcast and I shared it with you and I shared it with the Grep, with the Crush It crew.
With our friends.
With the Crush It crew.
Yeah, we have a crew called the Crush It crew.
Yeah, that's Dez.
And Brett.
And Brett.
Bretteray.
It's Bretteray. But, yeah, I was watching this podcast and basically it was what he's a psychologist, so people call in and they start telling him like all the problems. Mm-hmm. Well, there's this woman that had cheated on her husband and he found out and she continued to lie to him and told him that, no, it didn't go to a physical thing. It was just emotional and talking and, texting, whatever.
Yeah.
But the end of it wasn't. She slept with a guy
and didn't tell her husband,
and her husband knows something's up, but he doesn't know that that's what's up.
And they have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. He knows that there's distance between them because
and you know that right away. You could tell that immediately.
You can feel the distance. That's why I came home today and I was like, what's wrong with you? Because I feel distant from you today. I don't feel as loved. And you're like, I don't know.
Today's kind of been a funk day. I don't know why.
I know why. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you had a nightmare at 3:12 in the morning.
I don't even remember that, though.
I know, but I do. You know why?
But I woke up super tired this morning. I couldn't, I was not motivated.
You want to know why? Because you couldn't sleep. Listen. You're not listening, Linda. Okay. First, I have a nightmare at 2:41 in the morning. That makes me wake up abruptly. Okay. Crazy nightmare. Anyways. It's like one of my worst fears. Anyways. So. Then I couldn't go back to sleep for like 45 minutes. Like, great. So I'm like just laying there, right? I'm like, I'm not going to get on my phone. I'm like, so I start to pray. But then you start like later, you start having a nightmare because he's kicking. You're kicking.
Yours was at 2 o'clock and mine was at 3
Mine
o'clock?
was at 2:41 and yours was at like 3:12. I know because I checked the clock. I checked my phone.
I believe you did.
I'm
sure you do.
Because I want to be like, oh, well, how I went to sleep at 9:40. Like we laid and like we were done reading, done journaling. And then I finally fall asleep by 10 p.m. And I'm like, ooh, I'm progress. This is early.
Last night was good. Like we did have a good end to the night. And
yeah. And then guess what? Freaking.
We wake up with nightmares.
I wake up and then but see, I just wake up abruptly. When you have nightmares, because it's not the first time, you like whimper in your sleep. And then you start kicking.
Did I whimper like Holly?
You do. No, you really do, but doesn't sound like a dog. It sounds more like it's like that. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna record it next time.
Wow.
So
she's recorded me snoring before.
Yes, but I never ever recorded you whimpering from a nightmare yet. And it's like a unique sound. I'm like, what are you dreaming? So when I laid my hands on you and I started praying over you, and then I had to push you to stop making that noise so I could fall asleep because you wouldn't stop.
No wonder my neck's all hurting.
I didn't push you that hard.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And so then you finally stopped and then we both fell back. Well, you were never awake, but then I finally fell back asleep. So we didn't get a good night's rest. So that was the
No,
first
I
thing.
don't think we did at
And
all.
then you decided that you didn't get enough sleep or quality sleep. So you don't even go into work till 10 o'clock instead of 8. And I'm like getting ready and I'm like, are you going to work today? And he's like, yeah, I am, but I'm going in later. I'm like, okay. So you pull up to work and I'm calling you. The dogs are
Oh
out.
my
They
gosh,
escaped.
and that was another thing. Ugh.
And you don't live close to the home. So you had to come immediately back to come rein our dogs in because our son Carter decided to not put the lock back on.
Yep.
That's really loud in my ear.
I know. Sorry.
Not put the cut that out. Not put the lock back on because Bruce, our Doberman, knows how to open the gate when the lock's not there. He uses his little cute little button nose to go. So he opened the gate, and him and Holly had a blast. I was able to entertain
Roaming
them.
the neighborhood for like 20 minutes.
Well, I was able to entertain them in the front and in the garage area with the cameras and my voice, but they were like looking for me, like, where is she coming from? And so they couldn't find me. And then they went back to the backyard, and then they came back out, and then they took off. So I was like, dang it. So he had to come back home for that. Then you had a headache today, and I mean, it just was not a good day for you. So I come home, I'm like, what's wrong? But I know it's not me. I know it's because you had a rough day.
No, we've been good. We've been good. It was just a rough
week.
It was just rough.
Oh.
I don't know if it was the whole week or, because I don't think it was the whole week. Like we had a pretty decent. I don't know. It's been, well, even, yeah, like on Wednesday, we were supposed to both serve at church.
Oh, yeah.
God, we got
Crazy
stuck in traffic and literally took us an hour or more to get to
church.
the church.
Got there 15 minutes before service, after rehearsal, didn't have our inner ears checked, and you decided not to even play and just have them put guitar on track, acoustic. Yeah. And I rehearsed all week, so I was like, I'm ready to go. I just didn't get my ears checked. But it was still good.
It's good.
Yeah, that was a rough day, too. It was a long day.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah, so typically on days that I'm kind of like,
off.
My mind's not
just a little off.
Going well, I tend to try to fill my mind with other stuff. So I was watching podcasts today, listening to them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff, and I mean, when you're in that sense, or when you're in that area of dysfunction, and there's been cheating, or there's been betrayal, or miscommunication, or any of that stuff, it really puts a kink in a relationship to where it's like devastating.
Well,
and I was just trying to think. I was thinking that today. I was like, after listening to those podcasts, I was like, gosh, I'm so glad we're at where we're at. Yeah. And I keep saying that, like, over the past couple of weeks, I've been like very thankful that we are in a good place and that we have not had any major issues and problems and stuff that a lot of, I mean, we're acceptable to any of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And we're not, dealing with it, which I think we do a good job at keeping communication open and sharing our feelings. And
yeah, I tell you when you're being annoying and I need my space. Doesn't mean I don't love him, though. I love him. But sometimes you just need space. Sometimes you need alone time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want you touching me 24/7. Like, that time of the month, like, you know how I get. I am not jelly, okay? First 2 days, I am not jelly. So I'm like, I don't tend to like to be touched that much.
And I still touch her.
Yeah.
I like hugging her and
it's okay.
Caressing her.
But have you noticed, like, I'll, like, push you away a little bit? Or, like, I won't linger. I won't let you do it as long.
Yeah.
It's not you, baby.
I think is that a thing mostly because how you feel, or is it like you just feel unclean, or you feel like you're
Okay, let me be like the woman who bled for 12 years for a minute. Just kidding.
That is your favorite part of the movie.
No, it is not. I mean, I did cry, and it's a show, The Chosen. But no. I don't feel unclean. And it's not even just that during the time of the month. It's like just me in general.
Just overwhelming.
Just me accepting affection has always been hard for me. You have not noticed, like, even when I'm not during that time of the month, like, even when I'm not, like, it's... I kind of sometimes, no? Not all the time.
No,
I've gotten better.
Once in a long while, sometimes you'll show that, or I'll notice that, but not really.
Yeah, no, I think it's just
you're
how I was raised.
You're usually the one that's telling me, you're like, why are you sitting so far over there? You're not touching me. So if I'm on the couch or I'm in a certain part of the couch, then and I'm not, my foot's not touching her, or my hip's not on her.
I have to have some kind of touch, like, yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I've gotten a lot better. Like, if you would have gotten jelly, like, back in the day, like, I'd be like this, like, don't touch me, not right now, I'm busy. Now I'm like,
you get like that when you're cleaning. That's your super distance.
Yeah, okay.
It's like when I call you and you're like, oh, I'm like, okay, she's calling. You're welcome.
Anyways, so
our topic has changed.
Well, this wasn't even our topic because we were trying to figure out what to talk about, and you came up with the topic of the impact of travel on relationships.
Yes.
But you were talking about cheating today with all those stuff you were sending with the other podcast. I'm like, oh, are we talking about cheating today? I don't really care. We can talk about whatever you want, baby.
Mm-hmm. I'm down for whatever.
How do you think I would react if you cheated on me? And would you even come and tell me? And not just physical, like emotional, or just,
Well, that's where it starts. That's definitely where it starts.
Well,
and that's where it should be. That's where it should be cut off.
You're a very emotional person.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, you do. You show your emotions. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You are very vocal.
Yeah, with you. And people that we trust.
Even before we started dating, you were like that with me.
Because I knew you.
Okay, so...
But I considered you a close friend, and I considered you someone that I can trust. Yes. So I felt comfortable sharing that with you.
Well, let's say that
I don't do that with everybody.
Yeah, but let's say that there's like somebody in your life, like an old friend or something that you used to be close to, and you guys rekindled that friendship, and then you guys started talking. And then it evolved. Would you tell me?
Yeah.
How do you think I would react?
Depending how, like, where's this scenario go? Is it just getting in touch with someone saying, hey, how are you doing? How's everything going? Oh, I see you're married. Oh, yeah, I am married.
Wow.
That type of stuff, of course, I tell you anyways.
Yeah, you do.
But because I don't have anything to hide. If it was something that I had to hide, then there's something wrong.
Well, don't tell me when I'm on my period. Don't tell me while I'm cleaning.
No.
And make sure you tell me after church. Okay? Just FYI. Because it's always better to get me after I've had a little extra Jesus in me, okay? Just going to put that out there. But nah, all seriousness. You know what? I think I've been through a lot already in relationships that if that were to happen, I probably would be heartbroken and devastated.
Yeah.
Of course, that trust would be broken. Would I have an out? Heck yeah, because the Bible says the only way out is infidelity or death. So, I guess it would be up to me to decide that.
Yeah. I think in that situation, like one of the things we don't have together we don't have kids together. So
I mean, we don't
typically not with each other.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have our own child.
We have shared children.
Yeah, we have shared.
Shared.
But typically, a lot of people will stay in a relationship because of children.
Right.
Which doesn't make it easier. Doesn't make it better. But I think if you have a love and a value of your relationship, then it's worth fighting for. But if you had love and you valued that relationship, you shouldn't be in that place. And a lot of times people make mistakes because I don't even like calling it a mistake. They make the decision to do that because they're not getting something from their spouse, but they don't vocalize that.
Right.
They don't communicate that and say, hey, like, I really don't feel like we're having sex enough, or I really don't feel like you're respecting me, or I don't feel like you appreciate what I bring or what I do. So a lot of times there's a barrier that continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. And then you're just on assumptions, saying, oh, well, she should know or he should know.
How
that's why
should they
communication's so important.
know? Yeah. They won't know unless you tell it.
They won't, but then they start, I don't know if it's consciously or unconsciously, that they start looking for that attention. But the enemy knows how to attack you when you're in that place. So if I'm not being affectionate with you, if I'm not showing you love, if I'm not showing you attention, then in a lot of times, like, people notice that. And especially with, other males and stuff, there's men that are always on prowl and,
You can tell when someone's starving for attention and affection.
Yeah. And I think people see that and they gravitate towards it. So then they start complimenting you. Oh, hey, Jal. Wow, you look great today. I love your hair. Man, your eyes are popping. Man, that booty,
Okay.
Just kidding. Not that they say that, but
please tell me you don't think people actually talk like that.
I'm just giving an example here.
Because, you didn't even talk to me like that.
Telling you you're beautiful?
And
those curls are locked in, girl?
No, you did not.
I'm going to start. I think that's one of my downfalls too. Is I don't compliment you enough. Like, I think it and I see it. Like the other day.
Wait. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
When you were in the bathroom getting ready and you had like your black slacks on and you had your shirt and you were getting your jacket on, I was like, wow, she looks like really sharp. She looks like she's gonna go out and conquer the world. Yeah. She had her Kim Kardashian slim. What is it?
Okay, please do not.
Skimmed, what is it?
It was not a skim. It's actually from Shein, but it's similar to skim. Sure.
But yeah, it was. You were looking good, and I should have voiced that. Like I had the opportunity to say it, but I didn't say it. Why? I don't know.
You didn't?
No, I didn't tell you that. But in my mind, I was thinking
your eyes did.
Well,
your mouth did not.
True.
Because
I think I smacked her on the butt and said, "Have a good day, babe."
Yeah.
But yeah.
But why do you feel, or maybe you don't, I don't know, but why do you feel that compliments have to only be physical? Why can't you compliment me on something that's non-physical?
Like what? I don't get that.
Like,
maybe I'm not seeing that. What's a non-physical compliment?
Okay.
Like when you clean the house?
Sure. You could do that. But like, for instance, for you, guys don't really get physical compliments that much. But I could be like I have told you, wow, I really love your outfit today. I love how those jeans hug your butt. Like, I've told you these things.
Yes.
Like, I really love seeing you in sweats and a hat or a beanie. Ugh. I love that outfit because you dress up for work every day, like in slacks and dress pants, and that looks good on you too. But when you're in those sweatpants and that hat and a hoodie, ay, mi corazón, it just goes. Yeah. Anyways, that's a physical compliment I've done for you. But like a non-physical would be like, Hold on. I'm thinking. I had it and then I lost it. Non-physical would be like, babe, I really love how hard you worked today.
Mm.
I don't know. Like, I like the way your brain works when you do your edits. It amazes me. How you put stuff together. I don't know. It could be anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Well,
have
that
to be.
makes sense.
Doesn't have to be physical. I know you're a man, but into you everything's physical. But there's other qualities you can compliment that are not physical. I think a lot of men don't really utilize that tool a lot, is giving compliments that are non-physical.
True.
I love how intelligent you are. I love your work ethic. I love the way you take care of our children. You know, I don't know. There's lots of things. I love your drive to reach your goals. And
Yeah.
that inspires me to want to reach higher, do better. There's lots of things that could be said, baby.
Yeah. I see that.
Do you?
Yeah, and there's a lot of areas that can happen, so I think it's just a matter of paying attention to it and voicing it. Like, a lot of times we don't voice things, and I think that can get you in those spots to where you start getting, like, you don't just get distant from each other. And one of the sayings that I heard on the podcast that I was listening to is that you don't have to be separated from each other to be distant. Like, you can be sitting like her and I are right now, but we can be miles away.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can be in the same room physically and touching and doing all this stuff, but you're still not connected.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's these little things like that, like taking time, just taking time to notice things. Taking times to make those compliments. Well, why don't I make that compliment? Do I feel like I'm going to sound corny? Do I feel like it's not going to be accepted? Do I feel like I might be rejected by saying that? Or am I going to be laughed at? You know?
Well, if it's not accepted, that is not a you issue. That's
true.
Them issue.
That's true. But I think you need to have those things in your relationship to keep that, first of all, to keep that person top of mind that, hey, he does pay attention to me. He does like what he sees. He does hear what I say, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the small things that start to happen that can cause the issues of distance. And then it becomes it's a
ripple effect.
Because then I'm not making compliments to you and I'm not acknowledging how you look. But yeah, I think it's little things that can start to become big things. If I'm not taking the effort to tell you look beautiful, that I really love the way you look in those sweatpants, or that you did a wonderful job at cleaning, and that you make the house peaceful and loving and a home I want to come home to, you know, which is true. I think by not making those things vocal, then when you don't hear something, you tend to think that it's not there. And that can start to cause you to not feel loved. I'm just thinking out loud here. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just kind of
I'm thinking in my head.
So I think when you
I see
appreciate
that.
each other and you're vocal on it, it helps to not go down that road.
Yeah, but if you don't say some of those things, I don't think that it's not there. Like, if you never told me I was beautiful, I would still think I'm beautiful. Because God made me beautiful.
Yes, he did.
And it's not like I need your validation.
No.
For anything.
But it's nice to have that from someone that you love, and that's
for sure. Like, but I don't need my work ethic validated. I don't need my looks validated. I don't need my confidence, or I don't need none of that, because for me, it comes from God, not from human beings, right? My worth comes from above, not from anyone else. So Would it be nice to have that? Of course. Would it make your relationship better? Yeah, it would. But it shouldn't be everything. Does that make
I think a lot of people don't have that. Their value, they feel their value comes from others.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and the
So
social
when-
media era that we live in today, I mean, come on. Yeah. You post to get the likes, to get the comments, to
Yeah.
get the attention. Where others post to genuinely help others.
Yeah.
Because everyone is scrolling nowadays. So post content that matters.
Yeah.
Or that makes someone
true.
laugh. I love those. Anyways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She laughs at night like crazy. She just sit there laughing the randomest things.
It's funny stuff. And then I send it to him and he doesn't watch them.
Yeah, I do.
I know, sometimes. But honestly, we're trying something different. We're trying not to be on our phones at night. We're trying to read our books at night. I'm reading and journaling and praying, and then we go to bed.
She has a goal to read a book a month.
Yeah, I'm a little behind, but it's okay because I just need to do 12 for the whole year. And
Yeah.
some months are longer than others, so.
True.
But I have 3 more chapters left in my first book. I could read it all in a day. I just need the time. The time. That's one of the things I've been contemplating lately is time. I don't feel like I have enough time. At the end of the day, I feel exhausted and I feel somewhat accomplished because I got a lot of things done, but I don't feel like I got everything that I wanted to get done. And so I've recently asked God to give me more time. Now, how is he going to do that? I don't know. Maybe he'll make me more organized. Maybe he'll cut something out. I don't know. I have no idea. But I need
Interesting.
more time.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to affect my sleep because I need 8 hours of sleep. That is a goal, is to sleep every day for 8 hours. Uninterrupted. Meaning no nightmares, no abrupt waking up in the middle of the night. Like, you know what I mean? So.
What do you think what's the longest you've gone with actually getting 8 hours of sleep? Or how long has it been since you've...
Pretty recently.
Do you think you get it every once in a while?
Yeah, I do. It's not every night, but I think I have recently, yeah. At least 7 minimum. I mean,
Yeah.
on average, though, like 5 to 6 is probably my average, especially if I scroll or play bingo or solitaire, all my usuals.
And she's
I'm
going
like,
to bed after
okay, it's
midnight.
time to bed. Let's exercise the brain. I have this like mind game thing. Like, yeah, that's crazy. A woman's mind just never stops thinking.
Yes.
Like
I
I'm
heard
thinking in my sleep.
something the other day that a man's brain is like a waffle and a woman's brain is like spaghetti.
I've heard it too.
That's so true. Because we can just focus on like one little cube, but through that whole waffle, we just like, right there, I see that right there. I'm going to do yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and it's like I'll be telling her something about something that, a story or what went on through my day, and I'm just focused on the minimal basics of what's going on, and this is what I'm going to relay over to you. Even before I'm done, she's like, "Well, how did that happen? Well, what did they think? And what time what time was that? And who made that decision? And who did?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know."
There's nothing wrong with asking questions.
It's even like when we watch movies, she's asking me questions about the movie, which I haven't seen. But I have been very, very creative in making up reasons as to why people are doing things when they don't do it on the movie. I know why they do it.
Those are
so I
not
explain it to
actual
her.
questions I want answers to. They're hypothetical.
You're asking questions.
No.
And you say, "Babe, did you hear me?"
They're theoretical or whatever. I just want to express and vocalize out loud, but not really receive an answer. And I'm analyzing the movie the whole time. I'm like, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen.
Yeah, she tries to figure it out before she...
And I always do.
Sometimes.
There's been maybe 2 times I haven't.
Sometimes.
2 times. 2 times
Probably, I wouldn't doubt
in the
it.
last 2 years. Wait, we haven't been married for 2. Oh, but we've been together. Okay, never mind.
Yes.
Anyways, we got off topic. We were talking about cheating and...
So, what are your thoughts on that? What's something that... So, we had ended off of... What part?
I asked you how you thought
How
I
would I
would
react
react.
to it, or how you would react? I never answered that, did I? Did I go off on a tangent?
Kind of, yeah.
I think you would. I think you would be hurt. I think you would be angry.
Well, yeah, I did say that.
I think you would be distant
Oh, for a while.
for a long time.
And you'd have to be so patient. Ooh, a lot of people, that's the part that people don't have, is when you mess up in the relationship and you communicate with your spouse, hey, I messed up. This is what happened. Please forgive me, yada, yada. It's going to take some time. And it's not like a week, 2 weeks. It could take years,
Yeah.
depending on how deep the hurt is, right?
Yep.
And a lot of people don't stick around to wait. They get
Because
frustrated.
they want the easy out on it, like thinking, oh well, I already apologized. I've been working on it, but you.
Yeah,
well,
they
when you
point
make that
fingers.
decision and you go down that road and you have lost trust or you've brought in hurt into your marriage, you better be patient because gaining that trust back is so much harder.
And just because you've been
so much harder.
Yeah, and just because you've been perfect or really trying for 30 days,
No,
come on.
that ain't nothing.
Nothing. No. Nothing. So
Because your actions have caused years of damage.
yeah.
Yeah, it might have only been a little fling, 2 weeks or a month or 3 months or whatever, 6 months. But that causes so much damage, so much hurt to the point to where trying to get back to believe what you're saying and that your actions are true.
You know what? Another thing that I was thinking about earlier today when you sent me all those cheating stuff is that, like, if there's kids involved,
Yeah.
I mean, it affects the kids too,
Yep.
right? Especially if you split.
Absolutely.
But now, how do the children view that parent that cheated? Do you even tell them what happened? I guess it depends on how old they are. Like, in my case, right? Carter was like 5 years old when me and his dad divorced.
Yeah.
And I had cheated. And of course he was too young to understand, and he didn't know why. Excuse me. Now that he's 15, he knows, right? We've had conversations about it. He's had conversations with his dad. Like, he knows our relationship started off rocky, and his dad cheated on me a few times, and I forgave him, and we had him and we got married, and then I cheated, and then there was some other cheating that he did after, and there's just a lot, right?
Yeah.
So he knows kind of not like the nitty-gritty details, but he knows like the basics. And does he view us any differently? No, I don't think he does. No. Your children, I feel like they have this unconditional love. They'll always love your parents, their parents, right? But at the age of 5, it's not really a conversation you have, right? No. So when he was getting older, I think maybe like 6
more questions come up.
Yeah, lots of questions. And a lot of times I would be like, well, when you're older, we can talk about it. When you're older, you might understand, or like, But I remember one time, I think he was probably around 6 or 7. He had asked me why we got divorced. And I don't know where I heard it from, but I know I heard it somewhere or read it somewhere. I don't know. But I said, you know what? It's kind of like me being ice cream and your dad is steak. They both taste amazing separately, but if you put ice cream on top of steak, it doesn't really taste good. So you can't really mix it, you know? Sometimes foods taste better separate. And so that was kind of how I explained it. Why we got divorced is that we were better separate than together because we didn't mix, right? I don't know if he remembers that, and I don't know if it even registered in his brain, but that was the analogy I gave him. And then he didn't ask for years after that. So then, as he got older.
As he became older, he had more questions.
Oh, yeah. He still has questions.
Yeah.
You think I ask questions. Man, Carter asks more than I do sometimes. So. But yeah, I always think about, like, how do the kids react?
Yeah. How
do they feel? Because, like, for instance, with my parents, my dad cheated on my mom, to my knowledge, 3 times. And then after the 3rd time, she didn't forgive him. And I think I was about 6 or 7 when they got divorced. But I didn't know. At that age, I don't think I really knew why. But of course, I did find out later because my mom would tell us all nonchalant, like, oh yeah, your dad cheated on me 3 times. And the 3rd time it was the girl and I found her in the basement. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, one, I never asked. But I would hear the stories, and, all of them had super long hair. So that was a thing, like a trigger for her, is that they had long hair. And, like, I think for the longest time, I felt like my mom always had to keep long hair because of that trauma. And, like, she would never cut her hair short. I think to this day, she still doesn't really go super short. But that kind of trauma does affect you in so many ways. And it affects the children too. And so as I grew older, hearing my mom speak about it, because my dad never spoke about it. Like, I don't have that kind of relationship with my dad where we talk about stuff like that. Yeah. Like, I think one time I did ask him, why do men cheat? Not why did you cheat, but why do men cheat? Because this was after Carter's dad had cheated on me. I think like the 1st or 2nd time before Carter was here. I had asked him, I think, or maybe it was after. I can't really remember the time frame, but I had asked him and he didn't really have like a straight answer for me that I could remember to this day. So I don't really have that conversation with him, but hearing my mom's side and her, like, I knew that if that ever happened to me, which in this case it did, I didn't want to be the one to badmouth my son's dad, because I want him to form his own opinion. I don't want my experience or my opinion to, mislead him or make him feel or think any differently. Yeah. So, and I don't think he does, but maybe we should have him on the podcast to talk about it one day.
You know, he was asking me that the other day. When are you guys going to have me on the podcast?
Oh, really?
Why haven't you had me on there yet? I got a lot of stuff to see.
What is he going to say?
Let's see how far that goes. Let's see how that goes.
He would just, I could picture him now and be like, yeah, and he'd look at the camera and he'd be like, well, you know how he gets?
He gets lost in his words. Usually he's not a person of a lot of words anyways, like when we're just talking random stuff. How was your day? Oh, good.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do? How was school?
But he gets really deep.
Unless he's really thinking of something and wants to get into it, then he will talk about it. But yeah, we've got to do that here soon. So,
well, yeah.
Anyways.
So yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I think adults make is telling their children about their other parent and speaking down about them and bad about them.
I think it all comes down to age and how responsible and understanding the kids are and stuff. But yeah, you should never bash the other parent, because in the child's eyes, unless that parent is doing something wrong that's going to affect the health of that child or the well-being of them, like they're physically being hurt or whatever, those type of things. Even if they're the type of person that like puts him down all the time and mentally screws with their mind, I think those are times where you need to start drawing lines and be like, okay, now I need to protect. But
yeah.
I think whenever the cheating and all that stuff happens, it's not because of the kids. It's never the kids at fault that
No.
that's why someone does it. It's always the relationship. There's always something that wedges in the relationship, and there's mistrust, and there's issues that come up, and it takes time. It's this, like I say, it's not something that just happens immediately. No. You don't just see someone at somewhere and be like, oh, hey, you look hot, let's go, bang right now. No. It's not how it happens. It's emotional. You start getting into that emotional thing. You're looking for something for validation.
Not get to that point. So how do you prevent
Well,
that?
that's the thing. You and everybody can be a victim to that. Mm-hmm. Like you and I, we're not excluded from that.
No.
But I think the thing that keeps us strong and keeps us where nothing's going to come in is because we work on the fact that we are open with each other. We talk about everything. Mm-hmm. If I'm having an issue or I'm having struggles throughout the day, then I can tell you that. And I can tell you these things without feeling ashamed. I can tell you without feeling like you're going to judge me or see me as, someone different. I think that's the thing where, in other relationships that I've been in, I didn't have that. I didn't have the openness to be able to come and tell that person, man, hey, I'm struggling with this today. Oh, really? Why are you struggling with that? It's always judgmental.
Yeah.
It was always judgmental. And there was always I don't know, there's always something behind it. And you can't change that in someone. Like, you can request that, hey, I really need your support in this. But I never felt like I could do that because I'd struggled with porn for a long time. So the times that I felt like, man, I wish I could tell someone this, it was never able to be open to that person because I would have gotten just like, oh, you're a pervert, you're this, you're that. They wouldn't have been supportive in it. I didn't feel like they would have ever been supportive in it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you tell me that. I'll tell you which scene do you want. I'll reenact it for you. Which porn scene you want, baby? I got it for you. Let's go. Let's go.
Let go.
No. For real, though, I think as believers that it's a little bit different. Because, me in my 20s, of course I believed in God, but I wasn't in church. I, didn't have my community. I wasn't really like a practicing Christian or anything like that back then. I was still in the world living in sin. But now as a more mature believer, like, we know that there's a spiritual realm. We know that Satan wants to kill and destroy every marriage.
Especially if you're living for God.
Yes. Steal, kill, and destroy.
Or if your marriage is doing something well. That's the thing why I think we have to be so open and communicative, because we're a target now.
Yeah. If you're doing well, if you're impacting the world,
impacting people around you.
If you have an amazing testimony or soon to be amazing testimony to share with the world that will change lives, oh yeah, he's coming for you. And so you got to stay prayed up. You got to be in the word. And last night when we were having those nightmares, like me, then you, I was like, oh no, not tonight, Satan. Like, that's why I started praying, because I was like, no, like, there's no reason why I can't have a peaceful sleep in my home, because the devil doesn't just try to attack you when you're awake, but while you're sleeping. And so, like, for me, my dream was pretty crazy. I don't remember the whole dream, but I just remember in my dream I was being raped. And, like, I never ever want to go through that, right? And so I, like, woke up abruptly, shutting my legs. Like, literally, I was laying down, I went, And I woke up and I was like, what the? I don't even know who. I couldn't see a face or anything like that. But I'm just like, why am I even dreaming this? You know, like, so I prayed against it and I, prayed over you while you were freaking out. I wish you would remember your dreams so badly. Like, but I don't like to allow Satan that power over me while I'm asleep. And that's not the first time.
Yeah.
Like I have had some pretty crazy dreams. One time I had the same dream 3 different times at different ages and different stages in life. Yeah. I still remember the dream. Basically, my whole family dies and I'm the only one left. And a mechanical gorilla kills everyone.
A mechanical gorilla.
Like a robot.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Interesting.
And I'm like running for my life and I'm chasing, like running, and the robot gorilla's chasing me. I ended up hiding in a sewer. But the gorilla killed my parents, my siblings, my grandma, and my aunt. I was like, what? I was like young. And I'm just like, so I had
But that's reoccurred.
Reoccurred 3 different times at the age of 6, at the age of 12, at the age of 15. And I'm like, yeah, I remember these things. I should start journaling.
I wonder what the mechanical gorilla represents.
I should start journaling my dreams because they're pretty vivid sometimes.
Yeah, you always remember. Like a lot of times she wakes up and she's like, I had a weird dream. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And she'll tell me and she's like, is that weird? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird.
I don't control my dreams. But one time, I think it was freshman year. 14. So it was 6, 12, and 14. Anyways, we had to write about like a dream or something, right? And so I picked this one because it's the one I remembered. And my English teacher gave an interpretation of it, and she had thought that I had a fear of abandonment because I was left alone. Everyone was, died, and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, well, I had it at the age of 6. That's when my parents divorced. Had it at the age of 12. Don't really remember anything tragic or traumatic. And then at the age of 14, that was kind of, yeah. I don't remember anything there either, so I don't really know. Like, yeah. So I have no idea. But that was her interpretation. I don't really interpret my dreams like that because I don't feel like God can talk to you through your dreams too. Satan can attack you in your dreams, but God can speak through dreams. Yeah. And so if I have any questions or anything, I do ask God, like, hey, reveal it to me.
Yeah.
Or,
what was this?
Yeah. Like, what was the purpose of this? But I haven't really dived deep into that. Yeah.
Well, now that you're journaling, you're putting stuff in there.
I'm not really journaling my dreams, though. I'm journaling like...
Yeah, but I'm sure it'll come up if you remember something. Maybe you put it on there.
Maybe.
Like last night's dream, yeah, you didn't go like try to put that on paper, but...
Maybe. Like I've had 2 dreams where I wake up speaking in tongues. I have no idea. Like I wake up abruptly, but as I'm waking up, I'm speaking in tongues out loud. And I have no idea why.
Interesting.
I know. And there was like something demonic in
your dream.
My dream.
That's what I was going to say.
And I like
there had to be something
like,
that.
So one of them I remember there was like a shadow, and so I was like trying to like
get out of that.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's crazy, huh? I know.
It's interesting.
The mind is an interesting place.
It is. It is. I don't remember any of my dreams.
I
wish I did. I wish I woke up and be like, you know what, babe, I had a dream last night. Do you know what I dreamt? Is this weird?
Maybe you should ask God to help you remember your dreams.
Once in a long while, I'll wake up and I'll be like, man, I had a dream of this, and I'll tell you, but it's like rare.
I think only once you've done that, and I don't even remember what that was. Your dream.
I used to have a lot of dreams of like falling, and I'd wake up all, but I haven't had those in a long time. I don't know what I dreamt last night, but I don't think I was falling. But Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Sometimes foods can, eating before bed, like sometimes foods can kind of.
We didn't eat late last night though.
No, I just had my tea, and we had a steak dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Interesting.
But
take captive of your thoughts and your mind.
For sure.
And everything. Don't allow things to come in and, push you away from your partner.
Nope.
If you feel there is something that's coming between you, catch it early.
Yeah.
Communicate with each other. If there are things, desires, or things that you have, things that's going through your mind, work with each other on talking about those things.
Yeah.
Even if they're uncomfortable. I think once you stop having uncomfortable conversations, then you're kind of open to whatever, because if you keep that communication going, you talk about the hard things, and you talk about, man, I don't know if I should talk about this, but yes, you should talk about it.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are like so cut off where they're like, well, I don't share that. That's too intimate.
Well, being vulnerable creates intimacy.
Yeah.
And
But some people think that you can't share certain things with your spouse. Like
what?
When I have thoughts of sexual desires or whatever, like I shouldn't share that with you.
Why not?
Like, I don't know. I'm just saying. I do. I mean, it's not like
But do you?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, your like deepest like sexual thoughts and desires. Like, do you really, or you just tell me like, baby, I really want you right now, or, how you say it, like, do you just say that, or do you? Because you don't really tell me like, this is what I specifically desire. This is what I specifically want.
I don't think we haven't gone down that road, but I don't really have any. Like, I know there a while back ago, you asked me, you're like, babe, like, is there anything that
what your fantasy
you want, like, that we don't do, or
yeah,
like fantasy wise, and like I haven't had anything that, like, my mind hasn't been in this area of like, man, I wish she would do this, or I wish she would do that, because you do like well in everything as it is already.
Oh my
so
gosh,
you do.
But I do.
Our sex life has been great. I can't think of it as being like bad. I don't think like
no.
The only time that we do lack is when you have your period and stuff, like, of course, but that's no brainer. I mean, of course that's gonna be affected.
Well, I'm glad I feel comfortable enough to ask you because I feel like it needs to be talked about. A lot of people don't talk about their sexual desires even after they've gotten married.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing, okay, don't talk about them before you get married, but after you get married, shoot, the whole door should be wide open.
Well, yeah, that's a person you should share all that stuff. But yeah, we believe that pornography is not healthy for us individually or as a couple.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people feel like, oh, well, that's where I'll express my desires or my wants, because since my wife won't fulfill that, which we don't ask, you're never going to find out. But people will go to pornography for that thrive or that feeling, I guess. But that's not a real feeling. That's all fabricated. It's
also,
it's not healthy.
Pornography can also lead to cheating as well.
Yeah, well, that's.
Some people consider you watching porn cheating. Which I don't. I mean, do you? I don't think it's cheating on me.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's healthy. I think it messes up with your mind, and it's not real, but it could make you seek something else.
Yeah.
That is not me.
Well, because the rush, basically what they say is people get into pornography and they start watching regular porn, and that becomes not satisfying. So then you go to the next level up. Now there's different acts happening. There's different scenes happening. Then you watch that for a while, and then that doesn't become enough. Then you start getting into, more aggressive stuff and more things like that, So in that sense, like, it's never going to be enough.
Yeah.
Where you get true satisfaction is when you and your partner are connecting. You and your wife or you and your husband can literally be one with each other. That's where the true satisfaction is. That's what's going to be long lasting. That's what's going to keep you going, like, oh my gosh, wow, I want to do that again.
You know that saying, happy wife, happy life?
Yep.
I don't really like that, but I like to say, satisfied wife, satisfied life. Because when your wife is satisfied in all areas, you meet all of her needs, she will meet yours.
Yeah.
And a lot of men don't get that either.
No, because a lot of times they neglect many of the areas that your spouse needs. Man, today on one of the, I go and watch. Wow,
you
these
did a
podcasts.
lot of podcast watching.
I do. Even throughout the week, I watch a lot of stuff, and I watch things that don't. I even watch stuff that I don't like to watch, but I watch it because it's what's happening right now. It's what our children are being taught. It's what's out there. Like Carter's age, like there's this group that's out there in a podcast. They call themselves Fresh and Fit. And there's a couple others too. That's whatever, and there's some other ones, But their value, or not their value, their message basically to men, to younger kids that are growing up to be men, is that you need to be, in order for you to be a high value person or high value man, like, you need to make a certain amount of money. You have to have the certain status. You should be able to have women like crazy. And the fact is they go and they talk about these they talk to these girls that are like all clubbing. They're out there living a crazy lifestyle, that are getting body count numbers like crazy. And they'll sit there and talk to them and basically tell them, oh, and the other ones, like, a lot of them are only fan models. And so they're sitting there not having an intellectual conversation with someone who values themselves, not with an actual woman who is, elegant and who has character and who has, who values herself and sees the value in herself. But these girls that are just going out and sleeping around with everyone. And then they're telling them that, well, as a woman, like, whenever you find a high value man, like, you should be expected to be cheated on. Like, because I'm the one bringing the money. I'm the one I bring in, 10 figures, 8 figures or whatever, And that's the message that's out there.
This is what
that's the
teenagers
message
are
that's out there. And
listening to?
teenagers are listening to this like
Not
crazy.
my teenager.
But when we walk by faith, we walk through what we believe. I don't believe that no matter what amount of money I make, and even if I paid all the bills and I took care of everything, and you would never have to worry about it, I don't feel I have the right to step out on our marriage. And that's what they're teaching people now is you as a man, you have the right.
Yeah.
We're designed to conquer. No. We're designed to be a predator. We're designed to go out there and conquer this, and this. So why wouldn't women be part of that?
Yep.
And when I think of it, it makes me, I cringe, because you're going outside of your marriage and you're sleeping around and you have that mentality that you can have a person that's close to you, but you can still go and sleep with other women because you're a high value person. You will never experience the blessing of what that woman can bring in your life, and you'll never experience the true blessing from God over that marriage, over that relationship. There will always be a void. There will always be that desire to have more and get more and want more. Which, with you, I don't feel that. I'm glad I don't have that desire.
But you also shouldn't expect one person to satisfy you.
No. But like you said earlier, you know your value. But you know where your value comes from. These people they don't know where their value comes from. They're looking for their value in everything. They're looking for their value in relationships.
Yeah.
They're looking for their value in material things. They're looking for their value in the amount of money that they make.
Their career.
Yeah. And that will never satisfy you. There will always be a void. And when it comes down to the end of your life that you're, hey, I've got 3 months to live. Are you really going to be thinking, oh, I need to go sleep with 50 more women?
No.
Oh, I need to go make another $1 million? Oh, I need to go, purchase this car and I'm not going to be satisfied. No, none of that's going to matter. The thing that's going to matter is the people that are closest to you.
Mm-hmm.
And what should matter is if your life is right and you're doing, you've lived a life that's pleasing to God.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't think that. A lot of it's just selfishness. So
Very true, baby.
that's all I got to say about that.
Okay,
so
Forrest
that was
Gump.
an interesting topic that we had today. We were supposed to talk about travel and how it benefits our relationship and draws us closer to each other. But I think that'll be our next one then.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe there's a reason why we're talking about this. I don't know.
Well, I think I didn't like your script.
No?
Nah.
Why?
It was boring.
Well, there you go.
Okay, let me rephrase that. That's kind of mean to say. It wasn't boring. It was too surface level. It was too vague. It didn't have enough meat.
No, because we talk about it. Our meat's in our brain.
And as I was reading it, thinking about the meat, I didn't have any meat to say.
Well, okay. So it wasn't me. It wasn't the script, really.
Well, I mean, I feel like this would have been like a roundabout kind of episode where you just talk about it in a roundabout way. I don't feel like we have traveled enough. We've hit 11 states.
But do you feel that our travel has brought us closer to each other? That's the point. That's what's important. Do you feel that we've had experiences with travel that has made our life more enhancing and better?
I think.
Or would we be the same without it?
I think that I learn different things about you when we travel.
Like what? What's the most recent thing that you've learned about me?
You don't like
we
bagels.
Travel? I don't like bagels. That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
When deciding where to eat in the airport, do you pick McDonald's or Einstein Bagels? I would pick Einstein Bagels every day, all day, because it's way better than McDonald's. But he doesn't like bagels. So what do we have? McDonald's.
Every time I hold a bagel, I want to just throw it at someone. It's just got weight to it.
It's
like
a dense bread that's yummy and delicious.
Very dense.
And it's great.
Super dense.
Great paired with eggs, cheese, and sausage.
Doesn't have taste to it, but it's dense. Unless you get the flavored ones that have like all these different mixtures. Cheese and jalapenos. And
they even have salmon in your bagel. You can do cream cheese, salmon, and the bagel. Have you not had one? Oh my god.
Maybe we'll go have a bagel one of these
my point is that
afternoons.
Yeah, travel, I do get
mornings,
to experience a different kind of jar. We try new things when we travel. We try new foods, new places. We get to experience new things together. But this is a topic for another episode.
Sounds good.
Maybe we can elaborate next time.
Sounds great. I like it.
Share our travel tips.
Yeah.
I have a lot of travel tips, actually.
That's true. Well, everyone, thank you once again for participating and coming and joining on our podcast.
We definitely hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. We hope, our hope is always to encourage you. Our hope is always to bring new ideas, new thoughts, new ways of how to handle things. We've gone through some stuff in life, and we feel that we have some ways that we've came through things. We haven't always done it together with each other, but still there's things that you go through in life that will affect your future. Mm-hmm. And where we're at right now and how we're handling things, I think we're dealing with things really well. So we're not a professional source of advice, as we always say, but we are here to encourage you, and that's our main thing. We want to encourage you. We want to see relationships thrive. We want to see relationships grow. We want to see them be healthy.
Yeah. And
it's so easy. I mean, there's so many relationships out there that are not in a healthy place. They don't run like they should. Both partners aren't getting full their cup's full, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? So.
It takes time.
Yeah.
It takes patience.
But don't give up.
Don't give up. If you love them, do not give up.
Yeah.
There's still hope. We believe in hope. We're big hope believers. But we really hope that this podcast and us sharing our stories help you, think about some things, and also not just about the topics of us cheating, the topic of cheating, or, we talked about pornography. We talked about cheating and how it affects your children. We talked about a lot of things today. So I hope that somewhere in the middle of this episode, you guys got something, and we'd really, really appreciate for you to follow, like, and subscribe to our podcast.
Yes.
That would help us out so much.
Yes.
So until next time, thank you for tuning in to Turning the Page with
Jer.
and Jel.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.